Hey guys, DM Crafter DM Scotty here. Good to have you with me. Today we are going to do a necrotic ritual. And who among you wouldn't want to do a necrotic ritual, right? This ritual craft I made it to show the progress that the players were making when they were trying to defeat a ritual. And I think it's a really nice visual representation of how the players could do that, or it would give the players progress on how they were doing that. So let's go to the table and I'll show you how I crafted the necrotic ritual. To start the necrotic ritual circle, I took a piece of thin cardboard, I traced the CD in the center there, and then I traced around it a little bit to give it an edge. For the next phase here, I took the glue gun and I ran around just outside the circle of the CD so that it wouldn't obstruct putting a CD in the center. And then I pulled out a little bit of hot glue just to give it some texture. And you'll see how that works out later on in the video. So here I have a picture of the CD on the base, and you can see it easily fits into the base. The idea behind the necrotic circle is I want to have a column of light coming up from the center of the circle. So I bought this LED bike light, and I got this at Dollar General. It was only a couple bucks, but it's fairly small, so it'll be perfect for our purposes. Here is a close-up of the LED light itself, and it had an attachment that would attach to your bike, and I pulled all that off. Now it had a couple nubs that would attach to that, and I trimmed those off the light itself with a wire cutter. So it's not very pretty, but it's going to go inside a tube of necrotic light, so you won't see it anyway. Now this light just twists to activate, so you just twist it and it turns the light on, and I'll put this in the center of the tube and it'll light the tube up. And so now I'll go and show you what the tube looks like. To make the tube for the necrotic ritual, I used my clear plastic sheet. And like I say, you can get these anywhere. You could even pull these off the front of toys. You know, like doll babies and stuff have those plastic sheets covering them. You could use that. You could get this stuff anywhere. But this was a sheet that I came from a pack of plastic sheets that you would put on an overhead projector. But anyways, it's the same technique I did for the fire pots or the alchemical fire. I just dragged the glue gun back and forth. I didn't do it on the inside, I just did it on the outside because I'm going to coil this up like a tube, and I'll show you what that looks like in the next picture. So here's the tube all constructed. I took the LED light and wrapped it around it so it would be the right size for the LED light to fit in it, and then I just cut off the excess and glued it so it would hook together, and the glue hides the seam very well. Now I also painted it with a metallic green because I want to get that kind of necrotic green, and I also used a little bit of a gold on it as a dry brush. The next step was to start detailing the circles. So I sprayed them with the brown texture paint, and it gave a nice dirt texture. I also did a little bit of dry brushing on it to just give it some added interest. Now you can see I have the original, which is the base, and I just kind of pulled out some black from the center. That's kind of signifying the spell is gone. So when the spell is ended, I'll pull the piece up and it will disappear. Now I've got two versions of the spell. As the spell weakens, I've got one with the full disc and one with the second disc where it's starting to diminish. Now I did those kind of black tendrils coming out from the center because I want to kind of highlight those with a little bit of like necrotic green, and you'll see in the next picture what I'm talking about. In this picture you can see why I wanted to paint the black tendrils, because I'm using that very light green over the black. So you can see it really gives a definition to those green tendrils. Here's our completed ritual base, and the ritual, as the ritual is powered, it fills the entire base. So you can see there some of the detail I painted on there, hand paint on there. I think it came out really neat. So that just fits right in the center of that circle there. Now to have the necrotic light, I have the tube of necrotic energy, and then I have my light. So I just twist it. Oops, wrong way. Just twist it and then put that on top, and you can see the light just shines up through that necrotic column, which I think is really cool. So in play, as the necrotic ritual was reduced, I just removed this and put the smaller one in there. Let me give you a look at this. So there you can see a little bit more detail on there. So I made it like it was coming into the center. So then that just puts that there, and then I put the ritual light back on. And then as the players defeat the ritual, you can remove this last one, and then the light itself. So I just really think that's a great little representation of the progress that the players are making, and it was really super easy to make, not very expensive. And I'll see you next time on the craft. Here I want to show you some pictures of the actual necrotic ritual in use in my games, and you can see the players approaching the gates to the cemetery and the ritual in the center. I also have my mausoleums in there, which I've done a video on. Here's the reverse view from the DM side, and as the players approached, I explained how they could see the light shooting into the sky, and that the fog was rolling off of the graveyard, and some of the necrotic energy was leaching off from the ritual into the mausoleums, the spires in the mausoleums. And you can see as the players enter the graveyard, I had zombies approaching from either side. Here's a closer picture, and I also had it as the players passed the necrotic ritual, that it attacked them and drained some of their life energy off. So that was kind of a fun little thing, because they were trying to stay towards the center of the graveyard and avoid the zombies that were slowly shambling in. Here we have the players scurrying for the mausoleums as they figure out that somehow the mausoleums are involved. But that's for another video. Hey crafters, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the DM's Craft. Make sure to subscribe, and I have tons of other videos, as you can see. I am the originator of the 2.5D method of crafting tiles. I also do dirt cheap terrain for the table. If all this intrigues you, make sure you check out all the videos below. Also, join my forum. We have lots of great crafters on there who give advice. I have a link above and below. And last but not least, remember, go forth and craft!